Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So as you can see, I'm just sat in the garden with a little cup of coffee. I've just been thinking of lots of different things that I would never imagined would have happened, things that I couldn't imagine myself doing, but yet here I am doing it. So anyone of a certain age, round about my age or older, will know when we were younger, we didn't have the mobile phones, the Xboxes, digitalized TVs, radios, you name it, whatever gadgets we have. And I would have never imagined having a mobile phone other than that phone that sat in the hallway that was locked and we had to ask permission to use it. In 2000, the year 2000, I got my very first mobile phone. It was because I had a job and I was out and about and I needed that mobile phone to function for the job. And it was a little chunky Nokia that I got, the first mobile phone. And I can actually remember going to a shop. It was called the Dingle Phone Shop, not far from where we live. And I'd gone in and paid money to get a man to put then what was called a polyphonic ringtone on my mobile, and it's really just a bing, bing, ping, pong, ping, just quite rubbish now compared to today's technology. But I would have never imagined when I was younger to have that. And anyone who had a polyphonic ringtone in 2000, if you had something that resembled real music, people's ears pricked up and looked round. It wasn't just a brr, brr. It was actually a song or music, a polyphonic ringtone. And people would be like, oh, they've got music on the phone, and it'd be a new big fandangle thing. Prior to that, in 1997, Mr. Wallflowers and I purchased our first home computer. It cost us an arm and a leg. It was about £3,000 or £4,000. And we paid on the Never Never and paid off this big brick of a computer, is how we look back on it and see it. But at the time, it was this big new fandangled machine that we had at the back of the lounge. A monitor, a hard drive, and we had this big desk set up with it on, a printer with it, absolutely everything with it. It cost us approximately £4,000. And it came with a big, massive supply of discs, CD-ROMs they were called then. And for a long, long time, the only thing we used the computer for was to look at these CD-ROMs and try and learn from them, geography, history. I can't even think what half of the discs covered. Can you think of any more of the discs, what they covered? Human body, and it was like educational, wasn't it? CD-ROMs, and we had those, and for a long time, until Crawford got a little bit bigger, we'd basically just do that and try and learn how to use the internet. Well, at that point, it was a dial-up, and you had to wait a long time for this dial-up to connect. And it was new fandangled stuff, and we were absolutely amazed. Yeah, it was really loud, wasn't it, the dial-up? And then gradually, as Crawford got older, he used it for education, and he started teaching us how to use it for different things on the internet, and people would start talking and educating each other. Look for insurance policies, look for this, teach yourself how to research that. And I never actually joined any social media until 2009. And that was with Crawford's encouragement. Why don't you join Facebook, Mum? Why don't you have a look and see if your friends are on it? And he must have said that comment about 6 months. And then finally one day I thought, I'm going to have a go. I'm going to have a go. It was complicated. It was new. It was Friends Reunited was on the computer though, wasn't it? So I joined Facebook. Didn't know what I was doing. Had to be taught by him, and you know, it went on. Had you told me this 25 years ago, I would never ever have believed any of this was possible. Sitting here in front of a camera talking to you directly, you know, hopefully it's hundreds, maybe 1,000 or more people that I'm talking to right now. How amazing is that? You'd have told me that 25, 30 years ago, I just would have shook my head and walked away and wouldn't have believed you. It's absolutely crazy. The reason I actually started doing the YouTube channel, um, I already did the things that I was doing before I started the channel. And a local guy, Danny Carmichael is his name, was setting up a video link during COVID because, of course, the restrictions were so bad. He said, we all make different videos at home. We can upload them, join them together, and we can make a little movie about our town. And I joined in so ecstatic and thought, wow, this is amazing. We're going to make a movie between us in our own homes about our town. And we did. It's a documentary and it's called Scam I Love You. And it's still up on the internet. I think it's about 13 parts separate. Um, and me and the family are on it in quite a few different segments. Um, Very rough and ready, just from home, very basic. But that started us on recording and trying to learn to speak to camera, trying to keep it real, keep our personalities across. I think at first I was quite abrupt, and Mr. Wallflowers used to say, you sound like you're a headmistress when you talk, and just relax and be yourself. And it took me a long time to take that one step back and just be me, you know. Although I kept trying, it was something I wasn't comfortable with at first, but I wanted to do. And we've never stopped. We've never looked back. You know, I suppose that's 5, 6 years ago now. We have bits of pauses in the recordings, but it's something we keep coming back to and we keep trying to do. I'd like to maintain it every single day of the week, and I'm trying to again at the moment. Um, but again, had you told me this 25 years ago that I'd have close friends that I'm calling a community, that I feel are close friends that I've never met before, who watch me quite frequently through the phone camera, I'd have thought you were cuckoo. I'd have thought you were absolutely bananas, you know. I just would not have thought you were sane of same mind. And, you know, it's crazy. My son plays on his Xbox in his bedroom and he's talking to people, and sometimes they get irritated, sometimes they're laughing, sometimes they're singing and chatting. And it's just bizarre. Yeah, mostly he knows these people, but some of them are friends of friends, you know, that he's not outside communicating with. He's sitting there in his bedroom talking to them. But that's led on to actions outside of the home where he's meeting up and playing football and, you know, playing teams against teams, etc. He takes it as the norm because the internet and all of these things have been around all the way through from birth onwards for him. But for us, from that little square record player in the bedroom and a tape recorder you had to hold down with two fingers, it's so far removed. We just would not have imagined this to be possible. I can pick that phone up now anytime, morning, noon, or night, make a record, press the button, go live, and there'll be someone there at the other end. Amazing. I can pick the phone up and call my son in any country in the world, in any part of the country, and I can see his face and have a chat to him and do that with any other person that I'm in contact with. I know it's basic. I know it's something we're all doing every day. But when we sit and think what we had before all this, we would never, ever have imagined. So, what are we going to see in the future? Are we just going to have holographic you and I standing there talking to each other? I don't know what the future holds, and I don't know how bizarre our children will be in 30 years' time and saying, I never thought this had happened. I never thought I'd have this at my fingertips. I don't know, it's just bizarre. When did you first get your mobile phone? As I say, it was 2009 for me. Oh, 2009, I first went on social media. When did you first go on social media? And it was 1997 when we first got the home computer. I mean, things have changed now. We all used to have a printer, and we all thought it was vital to have a printer in our own home. I don't know anyone who has their own printer anymore. It's one of those things we let slide. It was too expensive to keep replacing the ink, and to find the exact one for your printer became a problem. So we all let the printers slide. But at first, you didn't want a computer if you didn't have a printer. You wanted the whole caboodle. You had to have the whole setup, otherwise it wasn't worth doing it. Absolutely crazy. I don't mind going to the library now and paying 10 pence a printout if I desperately need it, because it's few and far between. Why do I need to pay for a printer, have it plugged in and the electricity, wasting the electricity, buying the ink, buying the paper? I can just pay 10 pence maybe twice a year if I need it. Crazy. Let me know what new fandangled things you're looking back on and thinking you never thought that had happened. And just random thoughts coming through my head today. Crazy. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for listening to my waffles. And please let me know your thoughts. Take care. Remember you're loved. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.